Amitabh, sir.
Hello everyone.
Yes. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I welcome you all to the second session.
I think we are not able to hear you
Okay, am I
fully.
audible? Okay, am I audible?
No, now it's okay. Yes.
I think so. Okay. So I welcome you all to the second session of day 2 of the 6 days AICTE sponsored STTP on paradigm shift in assessment and evaluation practices for engineering graduates. Today we have Sri Amitabh Saxena to present on the topic qualitative process management as a value addition. Dear participants, we will have a question answer session at the end, so you can post your queries in the chat box. Now, I invite Reverend Father Dr. James Philip, Dean, Basic Skills and Welfare, to introduce our resource person.
Good afternoon, and let me welcome all the participants to this session on qualitative process management as a value addition. In this afternoon of the second day of our STTP, this is the second session of the second day of the STTP. I am greatly honored and privileged to introduce to you the resource person of the day. This session, as I understand, deals with qualitative process management as value addition. As I Googled through the topic, I found that it goes in various ways, and to summarize in one word, I think it deals with how to deliver results promptly. And in this post-COVID situation, it is very much relevant because we are looking for new normals. And I think we have got the apt person to deal with the topic. He is an international personality, Sri Amitabh Saxena, founder and CEO of AICTE Europe. As I went through his profile, I found that it is quite envious. I can only read out that because I got this profile only a few moments ago. Earlier I had something else with me. But I will, just for the information of the participants, I will just briefly give the profile of the resource person. He is the founder and CEO of AICTE Consultants Denmark, and he is a Lean Six Sigma Master Black Belt. He is trained in Six Sigma at AICTE University, Paris, and is certified by ASQ and has consulted and trained more than 100 organizations in India, UK, Europe, and the Middle East. By education, he is a chemical engineer with an MBA in finance. As a Master Black Belt, he has guided more than 1,500 improvement projects, trained more than 4,000 Black Belts and 8,000 Green Belts. He has also trained more than 2,000 middle and senior management personnel in strategic management, leadership, ISO 9000, CMM, and statistical process control. He has spoken at the global and national summits for ASQ, IQPC, Marcus Evans, Indian Statistical Institute, NASCOM, and has chaired leading conferences on process excellence. He has authored a best-selling book by Amazon, The AICTE Story, which describes his journey as an entrepreneur after working in corporates for 20 years as a quality professional. He is also also a well-known consultant, having won many awards and has also appeared on several TV shows and in business channels like ET Now, CNBC, Z Business, IBN, etc. He has also received the Global Achievers Award in Quality Excellence from the Economic Development Forum, the Manipal Award for Achiever in Process Excellence Consulting, and CEO of the Best Six Sigma Institute in India. This award was from Brands Academy. And these are only a few of the things that can be mentioned about him. And I'm sure, okay, he has also worked as a senior at senior level in KPMG, Deutsche Bank, Musk in Denmark, AXA in the UK, and he was also associated with Quality Mission Project of Indian Statistical Institute, Indorama Limited, and Bharat Petroleum. Now, presently, he is with Annexas, consulting leading organizations in India, Middle East, and Europe on Six Sigma and process excellence implementation. Okay, these are only a few things which I can briefly mention because I should not take his time much. So, we are very much privileged to have you, sir, with us this afternoon. So, on behalf of the Amal Jyoti Engineering College, I extend to you, sir, a warm welcome and request you to take over to address the participants. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, sir, for for reading out the whole thing. What I had, maybe my team must have sent it. Could I'm feeling honored to be here with the Amal Jyoti College, and thanks a lot, sir, for kind invitation for interacting with the faculty members, and also forum of the to the tune of like AICTE. It's an honor basically to and as people say that the best way to ensure the best education for our students is to ensure the faculties who are training those students, they are having all the knowledge which is available to that to the mankind at that point of time. So these programs like these, I'm sure, will help the industry to transfer this knowledge to the existing faculties, and it is basically a leverage. I would say it's a lever that if we interact with you and if we share our whatever we know as consultants with the faculty members, and again, just to because I tell this to all the people whenever I'm addressing any college. I tell this definitely that both my father and mother, they have been professors in first college. They started as school teachers, and of course they went to they started teaching colleges and then finally retired as professors in university. And since childhood, I wanted to be only a professor. So actually, I did not know that there is anything else other than any other profession than a professor or a teacher. So although I became an engineer, but eventually, as you can see, I have been conducting training programs around the world, and I have fulfilled my dream of being a teacher. And it's again always a pleasure to be with the teachers. Okay, so talking about the topic today, what I would be covering is both the qualitative as well as quantitative. Qualitative is also important, but quantitative techniques to make a positive difference to the quality of the education. I've made, actually, I was thinking of like, what is the best way to talk about it? So I thought, why not, talk about using the tools and techniques which I have been teaching around the world, whole world I have been teaching those tools and techniques. So why not talk about these tools and techniques and apply them to the colleges and education. In fact, it's not that this is the first time I'm thinking. In fact, we have done it in many engineering colleges. So a lot of engineering colleges, I have conducted our yellow belt and green belt training programs, both for students as well as teachers. And some of the engineering colleges have even implemented Lean and Six Sigma, of course. So there are two ways of implementing process management in any organization, for that matter. Not only engineering college, it can be any organization. So one is, of course, getting trained in tools and techniques, and then after getting trained in tools and techniques, you would apply these tools and techniques uh, whenever you want, or you can even take up improvement projects. So the best way, the best thing is to apply these tools and techniques in a formal manner. So qualitative means improving the quality of the knowledge of these tools and techniques, and whenever you feel like applying, you can apply, or you can even use these quantitative techniques as a formal way of improving anything you want in the education. So it can be, as you will know, I will talk. I would be happy, in fact, if it will be a good idea if people interact with me. I generally like that. So whenever, if I'm asking question, if you interact with me a lot, then you will enjoy a lot as well. And we can continue. We can, together do a project. We can think of one thing to improve uh, in a college or in an university or any system which is relevant to all of us. And we will apply these tools and techniques, those quality tools and techniques, process management tools and techniques to our own process. So I think that will be a good idea to take this agenda forward. But just to talk about the agenda, whatever I'll be talking about today's. First is we'll be talking about what quality methods are and why they are important. And then some DMAC philosophy of Lean and Six Sigma, what is define, measure, analyze, improve, control, and how you can apply this to a college. Projects and some projects example. In fact, the best way would be to do a project together. So first one, maybe I'll combine that. We'll learn some tools and techniques, the process management tools and techniques, and then we'll keep applying this to our, we will think of some improvement in our system, and then we'll apply these to that same problem. Lean and Six Sigma, as you would know, is applicable to, or any process management system in general, is applicable to all the industries, all the organization, including, including of course, the universities and technical education as well. So can you find some similarities here? And in case you would like to write in the chat box, if most welcome. It will be a great idea to have some good interaction. So if you can write, what are the similarities you are finding here in whatever we see on the slides. So if you can just make a guess, some of the things which you, are there any similarities here? So a manufacturing company improves production by 30%. A car company reduces customer complaints by 90% to almost, from whatever the complaints were, they reduce it by 90%. 64% in engineering design completion time in a multinational. An engineering college increases placement percentage from 40% to 90%. And an engineering college increases average salary of campus placements from rupees 3 lakhs to rupees 6.5 lakhs. So yes, as Dinesh has said, absolutely, all are advantages. Very good. It increases the satisfaction, as Liji says, yes, and increases in production and reduction in cost. Yes, you're right. And it is all advantages, benefits to the organization. Now, let me tell you, all of them, what they have done is, they have used process management. They have used process management, and in process management, you have got lots of techniques. You have got Lean, Six Sigma, data analysis. Now, within 2 hours, I'll try to give you as much as possible all the process management tools which are known to to mankind, I would say. I'll try to mention as many of them in the shortest possible time. And of course, if time is short, I'll be happy to come again. So uh, it will be a privilege. But let us learn about some of the very, very basic things, some of the very, very basic things which are required for improving anything. Whatever we want to improve. Do you agree with this, that there are two types of data? Some can be measured and some cannot be measured. So some people might agree, some people may not agree. And in fact, yes, please go ahead. Anyone would like to make a guess? That some data can be measured, some data cannot be measured. So some people may say, yes, I agree. Some people may say, no, I don't agree. In fact, both of them are correct. But from process management perspective, I'm talking about process management perspective, organizational development perspective, whenever we are trying to make an improvement from that perspective, we say that everything can be measured. In fact, there are two rules. You can't improve if you cannot measure. And the second rule is you can measure everything. So you can't improve if you cannot measure. That is rule number one. So if you want to improve anything, if I just keep talking about in terms of vision and mission, I need to translate these things into reality. Now, how can I translate all these things into reality? By putting up a measure. If you are not measuring, it remains a vision statement. It just remains, everything remains as a, I can say that it's abstract. It's all talks. But if you want to translate something into reality, you have to measure. And the second rule is you can measure everything. Now we will see how you can measure everything. Very soon you will, maybe I'll use my whiteboard as well. So to talk about some of the types of data. But most of the time when we talk about measure, in fact, I have not written that, but jokingly I tell that the rule number 3 is that if you think something cannot be measured, it is actually go back to rule number 2. That means everything can be measured. Now, whenever we talk about measurements, whenever we talk about data, there are 3 responses. And this, I'm not talking about only universities and colleges. We are talking about all organizations. And this is in general. First of all, they may say, we do not collect the data. Or they may say, we have too much of data. And the third is, oh, analysis is too complicated. Okay. So in the next 2 hours, at least the third part, if I can dispel that those wrong notions, I would say, about data, I think if I can at least change your opinions about this, I think that will be the best, I would say, achievement of this seminar. So first is, we do not collect the data. We do not collect the data means, like, well, why should I collect the data when we don't do anything with it? I have got too many reports, lots and lots of reports I've got, but no one, what's the use of so many reports? And because someone asks for a report, I just collect, and then I don't know what happens to that report. Or it can be also, why should I expose my inefficient process by giving you data? So that is also, happens. Second is, we have too much of data, but we don't know what to do, and it confuses us. So that is another thing. And the third is, analysis is too complicated. Analysis done by statisticians, we are not statisticians, or I, don't like, sometimes people say, I don't like mathematics, although in engineering colleges, you would not say, or at least people would not tell like that. But many times, oh, I'm not a numbers guy. I'm not a numbers person. So these are the three responses. Now, when we talk about any improvement, and before I come to the type of data, and before I talk why it is important to know the types of data, because without that, you will not trust that statement that everything can be measured. So when I want to improve anything in terms of quality of education, anything, we keep talking, we should improve the quality of education. We should improve the levels of the students coming out of the college. Uh, there are lots of policies which are, of course, required. But how to translate these policies into something measurable, something on the ground? Now, this is very important. And to make or to understand this, let us understand when we talk about quality in education or quality in general, we can manage quality. We call it as quality management, sometimes also known as just process management. Then improvement. And then third is design. Now, quality management or process management is just, I have some policies and procedures. So I have policies or standard operating procedure given by the university, given by the college. I just follow that. And I have to take these classes, I have to cover these topics, and I have to ensure the attendance, etc. And if we keep on doing that, we say that we have established a process management system. So you have standard operating procedures, then you follow those standard operating procedure, and then sometimes even offer yourself for audit. So someone external, third party will come and audit your university, audit your college. And they say, yeah, you have established those systems, and you are graded as this, whatever. Like every system has got those gradings, or some audit accredits you, and that you have to maintain that accreditation by following again the SOPs, and then ensuring the audits are taking place and you satisfy the auditors or assessors. If you are implementing, we call it as you have established a process management system. So you have processes and you are also managing the processes. So that is one thing. Another thing which is also important and which is people forget about is not only being happy with your existing performance or sustaining the performance, but also keep continuously think about improving. Many of you might be knowing the normal distribution curve, I'm just making an assumption. So most of the processes, many of you might know that they follow a normal distribution curve. It looks something like this, right? So average number of hours of teaching per week or per year, for that matter, over the period of last 5, 6, it follows normal distribution. Okay, attendance of the students, that follows normal distribution. Marks scored by the students, that follows normal distribution. The campus placement, the salaries of the campus and the campus placements of the students, that follows normal distribution. So everything follows normal distribution. And this is coming from our Mr. Carl Friedrich Gauss. He gave this philosophy in 19th century. Carl Friedrich Gauss. a great statistician in the 19th century, found that all the repetitive processes in the universe, they followed normal distribution. And he also found a fact that if you collect the data, small samples if you collect from any process, like for example, if I take a scores of the students, and marks scored by a student in any university, and one person is scoring 60, another person scoring 50, another person scoring 45 and 40 and 55 and 51, I will get something which is an average. Let's say average is, let us say, how much? Let's say I'll put 50. And I will also get a standard deviation. Very easily nowadays, you can just put the data into an Excel sheet and you'll get an standard deviation. Otherwise, I can tell you how to calculate it, but I think that's not required in this seminar right now. But let us say I get, say, standard deviation of 5. So as per Mr. Gauss or Gaussian theorem, X bar, this and this and this. So you have 1 sigma, 2 sigma, 3 sigma, minus 1 sigma, minus 2 sigma, minus 3 sigma. So 99% of your processes, 99% of your processes, or I'm talking 99% of your population. So this was a sample drawn from a population. It can be, let's say, marks scored by a student, or it can be gradings of any faculty members, grading of faculty members in a college, yeah. Or it can be number of hours we conduct training sessions, or internship hours of students, anything. I'm just talking about anything. Whatever is continuous data, it will have an average and a standard deviation. We call this minus 3 sigma as the lower control limit, and upper plus 3 sigma as the upper control limit. Now, all these things, in the first half an hour, I'll talk about some basic statistics. Many of you might be knowing about it. In fact, I can guess that, but I'll just still cover, and assuming that some people don't know about it. The reason, see, application part is more relevant, so I'll come to that as well. But the major mistake people commit, major mistakes whenever we are thinking of improving any system or any process, the major mistake we commit is we think of common causes. We start managing the common causes rather than managing the special causes, or we don't understand the difference between common causes and special causes. So that I'm trying to explain that because if you understand that part, you'll understand some of the real good tools and techniques, high-end statistical tools and techniques, which you can apply to education. So I have got lower control limit and upper control limit of any process, and the process behaves in a certain way within the lower control limit and upper control limit, right? Now I don't have to worry too much about this variation, right? On a day-to-day basis. On a day-to-day basis, I don't have to worry about this variation. Oh, last examination, our average scores of the students was, say, 50. Now it has increased to 56. Oh, I'm feeling very happy about it. No, sorry. Nothing has improved, right? Nothing has improved, nothing has changed. It is just the common cause variation. It's just like it's the natural behavior of our process, right? So the management which I was talking about, process management, is related to maintaining your process within the control limit. Now, control limits are defined not by the university, not by any external third party. Control limits cannot be defined. So people don't understand that part. Control limits are coming from your existing system, the kind of policies and procedures you have, kind of the training you have given to your students, type of training you have given to your faculties, type of exposure you have given to your to the industry, of course, to the students and the faculties, both to the industry. This is going to give you this performance on you. So this standard operating procedure, if you keep following this and keep auditing, you will manage here. What the audits are for, these audits are not for these limits. These audits are for this. You're not going above or below these. So, suppose something happens, either, I see if it's a score, so higher is a better thing. So but we feel happy. Oh, one student scored 90 marks. We feel so happy. One student got 20 lakh job. We feel happy. Sorry, this is not process management. This is not process management. That student is an exception. Ignore that data. We have to ignore that data. Or one student scored 10 marks. Oh, we are too much worried about it. No, sorry. We have to, in process management, we ignore this data. We call it as common cause. And if you want to be more technical, I can even talk about it. You can make a cause and effect diagram of that. And let's say I'm talking about scores, let us say. So my students, the scores are dependent on so many things like amount of study hours, attendance, the faculty, the library, the books, the exposure to internet and whatever. So many factors, we call it X factors. These X factors are affecting and producing this common cause variation. And when something goes up or down, I can associate it only with one X factor, and that can be easily taken care of by the respective faculty or the principal or anyone who is in charge. He knows what to do. Oh, why this happened? You know, why this person scored 90 marks. Oh, why he got 20 lakh job. There are exceptions. In process management, we just ignore them. What is of concern to us is, what is of concern to us? Concern to us is these limits. These limits. These limits are of concern to us. And I would like to breach those control limits. I would like to go somewhere here. New control limits. See, control limits define the DNA of your process. Last so many years, your college has been like, if I say average salary of a student in a campus placement has been around this. Year on year, next year also I can predict. But I want something different. And to have something different, you have to apply qualitative process management. Not only qualitative, even I would say quantitative process management. Both together will give you some new standards. And it's a structured approach. Every company in the world have demonstrated this. Many of the universities of this world have demonstrated. Personally, I have implemented Lean and Six Sigma in some of the Middle East, in UAE, in Dubai universities. I have implemented that. Some of the colleges in India, we have done some projects as well, not on a very large scale as a university, but we have done some improvement projects. One was the Indira Institute of Management, that was in Pune. Another is, there are so many, in fact, instead of rather than naming them, let us talk about. By the way, I have got beautiful pictures of all my programs around the world in colleges, universities, companies. I'm not showing all, I'm not showing all these things. I will send you, if you are interested, I will send you a link. And in fact, it will be a good idea if my team, I will tell my team to share a link of Yellow Belt training, where I have given a lot of examples of a lot of companies who have implemented all these tools and techniques. So right now, I'm just, I'm making my talk more of specific to the college. and how a qualitative process management can really improve the overall system. So I will share that link to you, and you can watch that link at any point of time later on also. So these tools and techniques are proven techniques, and I'll be talking about these tools and techniques in the next 1 hour. These tools and techniques will make this movement or a jump, and you will not fall back to your original state. You will not go back again. Yeah. So this part is known as process management. And this plus this part together, because I would like to have this as well as this, it's known as qualitative and quantitative process management. And this talks about improvement. So there are lots of tools and techniques to make it happen. There are tools and techniques remain the same. Methodologies may change. Sometimes people may use Lean, sometimes they use Six Sigma, sometimes they use Kaizen, sometimes they use TQM, sometimes you have a structured approach, different names are there, but the tools and techniques remain the same. Many of you might be knowing those tools and techniques like cause and effect diagram, Pareto analysis, process mapping, process management and process mapping go hand in hand. So all these things, when you start applying to your processes, this will give a great result, which is unthinkable. And why you are not getting those results? Because we are not applying those qualitative and quantitative process management techniques. So this qualitative and quantitative process management techniques, and of course, as I said, you can take any route. I'm not here to say Lean is better, Six Sigma is better, Kaizen is better. We know, all the quality professionals, they know all the tools and techniques are exactly the same. They talk exactly the same thing. So I'll rather talk about tools and techniques because you become a, as we say, like, if you attend a 3 days training program, you become a green belt, and say you become a Lean Six Sigma green belt. But what exactly happens in Lean and Six Sigma green belts? You learn these same tools and techniques of cause and effect, Pareto, box plots, scatter plots, DMAC approach. So maybe I'll discuss that as well. And anyway, that is in our agenda as well. I'll be talking about that. So all these tools and techniques, not having only knowledge, but also applying these tools and techniques to improve your processes in your institute is what we are looking at. And this will change the DNA of your system. That is what we are looking at. See, this is the DNA change. It's a jump. It is not just a little bit, some spike of improvement happened and we feel happy about it. No, it's a sustainable enhancement of your performance in every field, whichever field you choose, whichever metric you choose, whichever measure you choose. And there is one more thing called design, which is, when you're designing a curriculum, when you're designing a system, when you're designing a college, you design a process so beautifully well, because let's say this is the beautifully designed process. For that, what are the factors, the inputs? What should be the 3-4 critical inputs, right? So I design my inputs so well, I design my processes so well that the output which is going to come from my inputs, we call it X factors, will deliver excellent, beautiful results, which definitely will surpass all the imaginations. Means in the designed process, design system will produce such a beautiful output. Well, like your college or whatever, if you're designing a curriculum, designing a new building, designing a new college, all of these. So again, you apply these same tools and techniques. You have quality function deployment, failure modes and effects analysis, and so many things. You apply these, and these techniques can be learned just quickly. 3 days. 3 days, you can become certified in a green belt and black belt. All these things are so easy. It's like nothing There's nothing secret about. There's no secret. There's not a secret. Oh, I've got a secret to success. There's nothing like that. These are the secrets to success. This is open. Like nowadays, you can always learn those tools and techniques. So, having understood this a little bit and why all these, process management is important, let me talk about the types of data, because that will help us to understand how I can apply the qualitative process management. So quality process management, what we are going to as a value addition, how it will add value. What is value? Value is from the perspective of the customer, from the customer's perspective. Now, in this case, our customers are students, the parents of the students. Customers, the university or the AICTE in this case. So these are our customers, and we have to keep them happy. So we have to define the measures from customer's perspective, yeah, and we have to ensure that customers are happy. How would I do that? Again, not only looking at the measures which they want me to measure. Of course, we will measure whatever they want. Of course, we're not saying that we'll come out with new measures. But we are generally worried about the outputs. Can you tell me any one thing, any output or any one measure which you are always, you're monitoring and you're trying to maintain? Maybe 2 or 3 measures. Just give me any 2 or 3 measures. Which are very critical for your say assessment by AICTE or any in general, not only related to AICTE. It can be it's important for you to maintain those measures. Anything you would like to let me know? Anything which is important, critical. So I'll take that example, the same example I will take, and then I will correlate everything to the process management. Do you have any critical measures, critical things to achieve? Or you just tell me some of your vision statement or mission statements, which we'll come out with some measurements. Has the chat been disabled or?
No, sir. Participants can post in the chat box.
Yeah. Yes. So I would like all the participants to be a little interactive. So can you tell me anything you would like to improve in your college, improve in your university? University exam results. Yes. So that is one. University exam results. That is one thing. Any other things? Okay, so let us take example of university exam results. Okay, let us go with that. Now we are worried about the university exam results, but how often you have seen people worried about the process management, college placement percentage? Yes, we are worried about college placement percentage, but what process management tells you is problem is not in the people. See, most of the time people will blame either students or the faculties, most of the time. But Edward Deming, the quality guru, used to say, the problem is not in the people, problem is in the processes. That is why we say process management. Yeah, students, innovation and projects. Very good. That's also a very good example. Now, whatever we want to improve, university exam results, college placement percentage, or students' innovation on projects, we have to put a measure. And not only we have to put a measure on those exam results and placement percentage, but also we have to put the measure on the processes as well as the inputs to those processes. We call it inputs, process, and outputs. So we have inputs, which are fed into the process, and then process delivers an output. Now, what we are worrying about are the outputs, exam results. Now, exam results are dependent on so many factors. Are we controlling those factors? Are we measuring those factors? Are we aware of our performance in terms of those factors? And if we are, and if we are not, let's say, just take an example, I'm sure you are aware of, like student attendance. You may feel that is affecting the exam results, right? Maybe yes, maybe no. Maybe yes, maybe no. Now, this is what qualitative or quantitative process management is all about. Don't make a judgment based on your experience or your knowledge. Trust the data, trust data, data, data. So process management is all about data. So if you want to improve the quality, definitely go, implement process management and implement data-oriented decision making. So let us understand, I'm sure many of you might be knowing about it, but I'm just making an assumption that very quickly I'll tell you, there are two types of data. And that is why I said you can measure everything. Because some people feel that you can't measure many things. By the way, do you feel anything cannot be measured? If just let me know. We'll put a measure to that. So there are two types of data types. We call it as continuous data and attribute data. I'm writing it in little hurriedly, so please excuse me for this handwriting. So, well, let us try. Oh, I'm among the faculty members, so I should not do that. Continuous data. Continuous data is, let's say, marks, the scores, exam score. Exam score is a continuous data, which can be like 50.5 also, 5 marks. Yeah. Let's say another example can be study hours, say 100.6 hours. Yeah. Faculty experience, 7.2 years. These are a continuous data. So continuous data is having a unit, and it has got a decimal point as well. Right? And we have got attribute data. Attribute data is like having an attribute. Yeah. Oh, here I can even put, say, salary of person in the campus placement, 3.2 lakhs. Or I can even write monthly as well, 31,000.5 K rupees, 1,000 rupees, right? I'm just writing 31.5 thousand rupees. Same, you have a measure and you have a possibility of a decimal point. Attribute has got like, can you give me an example of attribute data? Anything which you think cannot be measured. Yes, so let us say attitude. Very good. Let us take an example of attitude. Now, whatever you think cannot be measured, okay, first let me write the attribute, then I have to devise a category for it. And then I have to devise a count for it. Okay, and I can even make a proportion also if I am interested. Yeah. So let us say attitude. Attitude is one thing I would like to measure. So easiest measure of anything is binary in nature, presence or absence of something, right? Attitude, I can say binary, can be good, bad, yeah. It can be other categories like cooperative, not cooperative, otherwise, like I'll just put simple right now to make our things easier, good and bad attitude, okay? And then I checked with my, you want students, faculty, whatever. So to students, let's take students. And faculties, say five faculties were asked to, rate the attitude of each of the students, let us say. And as per, everyone rated, all five rated all 50 people, and we got 250 scores in this case. So in a way, let's keep it simple. Out of, let's say, 100 students, because my calculations will be easy, in an university, I took a sample of 100 students, and based on certain attributes, I classified 40 was good attitude and 60 was bad attitude. Now I can think of improving the attitude of my students. Only when, I will come to that, don't even think of improving the attitude of the students right now. When I have to think, when I can prove using data that attitude of the student is affecting my score. Okay, so I'll come to that. I'll come to that. But let us first understand the types of data. And here, of course, we have 0.4 and 0.6. So I can frame my problem statement very clearly, that the attitude of my students is at 40% today, and I will do something, take up an improvement project, process management project, and I will improve this 40% to 70%. So again, this survey, when it is conducted based on the similar attributes, once again this attitude is measured, you will get 70. But you will have to do something about it. What should I do about it? We'll come to that. Again, placement. Placement is another attitude. Placement is not continuous data, my dear friends. Please remember, it is also attribute data. Placed, not placed. Again, I'll take 100 students for my ease of calculations. I had 60 students placed and 40 students not placed. And I will do something, some of the things. And next year, the 60% placement will become percentage is proportion, right? It's attribute data. It is not continuous data. It doesn't have any unit. Percentage is not unit. It's a ratio, right? What is a unit? This is an example of unit. Rupees, years, and there is a possibility of a decimal in the measure itself. See, there will be a measure here also. You will say here also I have decimal, but decimal is in proportion. It's in the ratio, isn't it? It's in the proportion. It's a forced decimal. It's not that. You cannot have 40.1% having good attitude. It's a count. It's a discrete data. 40, 41, 42, 43. Right? Discrete data. So attribute data can be expressed only as discrete data. Okay. Now, once you have got this, see, the whole session, what I'm doing is just to convince you that it's very easy to measure. And after measuring, you have to make data-oriented approach to make improvements for the value addition, whatever value you want to add. For value addition, these techniques, process management is so important. And many times this part is totally ignored, because most of the time we'll have great meetings, we'll have great expressions of interest. Everyone's intentions are good to make, improve the education, improve everything. Everyone wants that. But when it comes to the implementation, there are lots of things missing. And one of the missing things is process management. And I've just touched upon a very, very basic thing right now. There are lots of other things also, but I'm talking about the majority of the most important things. Remaining things, like, as I said, like knowledge is vast, but I'm touching upon all the most important things. Another most important thing is process mapping also, but if time permits, I'll talk about it. But let me talk about the most important things first. And if time permits, I'll talk about that as well. So now I will have whatever I want to improve, I can choose that. And once I choose that, let us say I'm choosing, let's say you want to improve the exam score. Let's just take an exam score. In fact, I had the data from one of the colleges. I don't know it's there or not with me right now. We did actually university scores improvement. I can tell my team members, if one of my team members is there, if you can just check with Gopi Krishna, just if he has got university scores, that example with him, then I'll just pull out. Otherwise, I can make it also here. Not a big issue. I'll create that example here itself. So exam score I want to improve. Okay. So this is continuous data. So there are two types in process management. We talk about two types of I can say statistics. One is descriptive statistics, and another is inferential statistics. Now, what happens in most of the colleges or universities, we are just focused on the descriptive statistics. My placement percentage, 60%. My average salary of the students is this much. My attendance is like, sometimes, even that is missing. Even that is also missing. We don't even collect the data on descriptive statistics, but at the most nowadays, because sometimes assessment is happening, audits are happening. So in this case, people say, oh yeah, I have to maintain those KPIs. So I'll just do that. This is descriptive, but more important is the inferential. And there lies your real improvement opportunities. So if I want to improve the exam score, or if I want to improve the salary, whatever, let's take exam score for that. What you want, whichever you tell me. You want to take example of exam score because there's time left only for any one example I can take. So exam score or salary or anything, you tell me. We'll create that example for you. University score is good. Exam score, okay. So let's go with exam score. So descriptive statistics will tell. Now, if your data is continuous data, I can use only one tool, and that is known as histogram. And I will get my histogram or the normal distribution curve of the exam score. And I'll say that on an average, let us say I'm having, exam score is 45 is my average. I'm just taking example, it may not reflect your university's scores, but I'm just taking example with a standard deviation of 5. Let's say X bar is 45, standard deviation is 5. So 45, 50, 60, and 65. So my students go as high as 65, but almost no one goes above 65. And my students go 40 and 35 and 30. Some people go up to 30, but not many go below 30. Yeah. So this is the distribution of and this is my performance. This is the descriptive statistics. We're talking about the descriptive statistics. And these are my control limits now. By now, you know that. This is my performance. Suppose you were doing a project on increasing the placement percentage or attitude. Yeah. By the way, other examples are also, let me have some other attribute example, like stream of your engineering, like electrical, engineering stream, right? electrical, mechanical, chemical, and I've got, let's say, 50 students here, 60 students here, 70 students here. So these are also other examples of attribute data. Just wanted to add that. Now, whenever I'm describing the attribute data, I cannot use normal distribution there. There I have got pie charts like electrical, mechanical, chemical. Yeah, these are pie charts. Or I can use bar chart, electrical, mechanical, chemical. These are the tools used for attribute data, descriptive statistics. Okay. But now, as I said, let us not focus too much only on the descriptive strategy, because world AICTE will focus upon this. Oh, you are maintaining this? Okay, that's fine. But as a college, we have to focus more on what? The X factors. We call, see, when I'm talking about this, whatever I'm trying to improve, I will call it as Y, right? Y. And we say Y is function of X. Yeah. So most of you from a technical background, so I can use those terms, and I was totally forgetting. I can use these terms, right? So Y is equal to function of X. So this is my Y output description. Now X factors these are my X factors. What are the X factors? Possibly the study hours. Yeah, study hours might affect my exam scores. Faculty experience might affect my exam score. Salary might have. At this point of time, we'll take a quick break. I was told that after 1 hour we can take a 10 minutes break. I think it will be a good idea that we can take a break of 10 minutes and we'll be back again. Yeah, thank you.
Participants, you can join back at 3:10. Okay, we will restart the session. Participants, please rejoin. Amitabh sir.
Yes, so welcome back. And so as I was talking about, so let me take you through very quickly. So the thing which we are trying to improve is exam scores, and then we have to also think about the X factors. So let us say when the uh, many of you might be aware of those techniques. I'm just trying to recall them. Uh, when my Y and X both are continuous data, continuous, and this is also continuous data, I can use a scatter plot. So I've got like exam scores, and let us say one of the X factors is say study hours, let us say. So I may find I can do a scatter plot, and nowadays there are so many tools there. If you want, I can demonstrate some of those tools. They are all available in Excel. Also, you can do. I'm just talking about very basic tools. I maybe one another tool like FME. Also, I'll talk about if the time permits. So when you are having continuous and continuous data, you can use a scatter plot, and there's a positive relationship, or it can be there can be no relationship also. So in this case, I would say this study hours is not affecting my score. So we have to do a data-oriented validation of the data by collecting small samples. So I can collect very small samples of some students, exam scores, and their study hours. And you don't have to collect this for many students, like 30, 40 randomly chosen students. And if you find that study hours have no correlation, that means something else is affecting. Something else is affecting. Why? Because some person studied for say 10 hours, he's scoring high marks. Some person studied for 40 hours, still scoring, also scoring high marks. Person with 40 hours scoring low marks, person with 10 hours also scoring low marks. Well, that means no relation. But if you have this kind of relationship, you will get an equation also, a plus bx in the form of a straight line. And you can even predict the scores. Now, scores of students is, let's say 25 plus, let us say, I'm just taking an example, zero point 0.1 times study hours. So if a student score puts, or let's say 0.5 times study hours, so person puts 100 hours, I can say that he will score 75 marks. Now these equations, whenever you're talking about, these equations can be easily generated by small sample sizes. Now, these things are missing from most of the universities or colleges, these types of studies. Now, these studies are so easy to conduct, it doesn't take much time. Okay, you may find there is no score. In fact, it's very easy. Like I generally, on almost every week, I conduct a green belt and a black belt training. Green belt, we talk about these tools and techniques, which I'm discussing. In black belt, I talk about ANOVA, chi-square, all these techniques. With a small sample size, you can make these conclusions, and you can make very, you know, I would say validated, get the validated X factors and act on the validated X factors only, rather than trying to act on each of the X factors. So what happens nowadays? Now, what happens? I want to increase the scores. People will say scores depend on faculty experience, it depends on attendance, it depends on say study hours, it depends on something else, something else, something else, something else. And then we say, well, from my maybe some senior person, or maybe one person, or some study conducted in the United States. As we have found, and someone person will get a study from United States. Oh, the scores are dependent on the, let's say, attitude of the students. There are some articles. I'll give you the article from for attitude also, faculties also. You have got articles around the world, but whatever article I get hold of, I just take this as the uh, root cause, and I start acting on it. After some time, I forget about that root cause. I started acting on this cause. Then again this cause. Again, 2-3 people. No, this is not going to help us. This is something which is definitely not process management. This is not, I would say, quality management, lean, Six Sigma, Kaizen. No, this is not. You have to do data oriented, collect the data. Little bit of data will tell you that, there's another tool called Pareto analysis. Many of you might be knowing 80-20 rule. You can use that as well. And so, yeah, sorry for the little bit of break. So here we are talking about value. See, it is very easy. It doesn't have to do. You don't have to do too many studies. Like small sample size will definitely, make you conclude something which is of much use to us. Conduct a study for your own college. Conduct a study for your institute or your own university. Why you are looking at a research conducted in London or conducted in Delhi or conducted in some other part by, it is so easy. It takes like 2-3 months, but you can do that. This is what is qualitative process management based on data. I'm just trying to tell you based on the limited time. I was trying to prove that same thing. Another thing, suppose I am trying to let's say scores, and I feel attitude of the students towards studies, that affects the, let's say, people may say that good attitude, well, ask any professor, good attitude, student will score good marks. Bad attitude, student will score bad marks. Okay, doesn't matter. Let us collect the data. And if I find, like I collected data of 20 good attitude students, which I classify them as good attitude. Oh, very good scores. Well, we are proven. But it may also happen like this. We call this as a box plot. There's another tool. I'm not going to the details of those tools and techniques. Oh no, in this case, attitude doesn't impact at all. Root cause lies somewhere else. Some other X factor. We call this the X factor. These are all X factors. This is the Y. So not the attitude is not impacting, something else is impacting. And how much time it takes? Just 5-10 days of study. Very quick study, small samples. Get those studies done. And in fact, if you, nowadays very easily in our black belt trainings, in fact, we conduct this sessions on ANOVA, chi-square, etc. When you have got attribute data, this was attribute data, this was continuous data, isn't it? Continuous versus attribute data, we use box plot, or if I want to use hypothesis test, we use something called as ANOVA, analysis of variance. And analysis of variance will give you a p-value. So if I'm doing, let's say, good attitude, bad attitude, scores, yeah, p-value, if it is 0, that means yes, attitude is affecting. 0% overlap of good and bad attitude of scores affecting. But suppose I get something like this, good and bad. So p-value here will be 1. Or if I get something like in between, p-value will be 0.6. So whenever p-value is less than 0.05, like here it is 0, right? 0. Well, I'll say attitude is the root cause. I should work on making the attitude of the students better. Then I will call the motivational speaker, which I've been asking from UK or US or wherever. But when the attitude of the student is not impacting my score, there is no point in conducting those motivational speeches by great motivational speakers. I'm sorry, you are wasting your time. Because attitude of the student, even if you improve, is not going to increase your score or the placement percentage. But you thought like, okay, I thought communication skills will increase my placement percentage. Maybe. Well, how? Yeah, I know that. From on what basis you know that? Well, I know that. They ask any. I know communication skills. Yeah, of course, very important in this world. My dear friend, you want to improve the campus placement? Have you conducted a study? The worst communicator may be getting the best salaries. Do you have the data? If you have the data, yes, then call the conduct a communication skills program in your college. If you have a data to prove your ANOVA p-value is 0, yes, great communications. There's good communication, bad communication. Yes, impacting 30 students. Excellent communicators got high salaries. Poor communicators got low salaries. Statistically significant difference has to be there, not the halo effect. Not the halo effect. Halo effect means very good communicator, the speaker of the century, or a speaker of the college, speaker of the year, that student, he got great placement. Wow, good speaking skills are passport to a great job. Sorry, that's halo effect. That is special causes I was talking about. The special cause. No, we are not here to worry about special causes. No, we are blinded by those special causes. These I was talking about right here somewhere. We are blinded by our decisions due to these special causes. Now, it's so easy. No, I'm not talking about something in the air. I'm talking about collect the data, get your control limits, understand the special causes, ignore the special causes, and you want to improve here, do a scatter plot or a box plot or an ANOVA or a regression. See, instead of, as I was talking about, when it is continuous and continuous, you do regression. This is known as regression analysis. What I just showed you was regression analysis. And these tools and techniques are, of course, instead of hiring consultants like us, you yourself can learn. These. I'll be happy in case I do free trainings for colleges, because one of our vision and our company's vision is to spread the thought process about quality in the not only in India, we're talking about the world, and especially I belong to India, so why not? I'm always passionate about providing those services in India as well. So this little bit of knowledge of collecting little bit of small sample size can make conclusion about large populations. 30 sample, 40 samples, you get your X factors and impact, and assign these projects to professors. Like your Professor A, your job is to increase the score, find the X factors, tell us, submit your results in the next 2 to 3 months, and we will take an action. Okay, you'll find attitude really impacts or attitude doesn't impact. Good communication skills impact, good communication skills don't impact. So this is what this is what is qualitative process management to add real value. There is one more thing. I just briefly touched upon all these things as much Actually, I have beautiful slides with me. I did not show you any of the slides because I wanted to make it a little bit more, you know, focused on maybe your area. But I've got excellent slides, and we conduct while conducting a regular training program. Actually, we use a lot of colorful and videos and all that stuff. By the way, I have given a lot of videos, clippings of these tools and techniques. They're available. If you are interested, you can join my channel. There's Annexa's YouTube channel. I keep giving almost every second day. I make a tool, and then I talk about the tool and how you can apply this tool to your own industry. So if you are interested, you can connect with me on LinkedIn as well. LinkedIn is my um, uh, profile is Amitabh Saxena. So you can always connect with me on LinkedIn. I'll be happy. Generally, of course, I'm very careful about accepting the uh, uh, LinkedIn request, but in the next 2 to 3 hours, or maybe by tomorrow, I can see, I can easily make out if you've attended this training, then you are aware of the quality concepts, and your request for connection will be a genuine request. So I'll be definitely happy to get connected with you. So that is just one. Before I forget, I just wanted to remind you. Now let me talk about one more tool. Now, here I talked about a little bit of qualitative and quantitative techniques. One qualitative process management tool is there called FMEA, Failure Modes and Effects Analysis, which might be of also very used to you for any improvement. You can quickly do this. It just takes 1 hour. A quick meeting in your college can solve, or give you some excellent solutions. I'm not talking about brainstorming session, because brainstorming session, I'm sure all of you are aware of, or you have got a lot of people, a lot of videos available out there, who will talk about how to conduct excellent brainstorming sessions. Although in my Greenbelt training programs, we teach you some very, very good, innovative, excellent brainstorming techniques, which using which you can get a lot of you can generate excellent ideas. But let me talk about one more tool, I think, which will really help you. And it will take around 15-20 minutes. After that, I'll open up for question and answers. And this, let us see. Yeah. This one is FMEA, used by lots of industries. Why not by universities too? So this was first used by NASA because they did not want to fail in their Apollo mission. So it was used in Apollo mission for the first time. And of course, now it has been used by many industries, many hospitals, many universities. And the overview is something like this here. Processes. Whatever process you want to improve, you have to write that process. What are the failure modes? So you have to write the failure modes. Potential failure effects. What are the effects of that failure? Then severity ranking, 1 to 10. Severity ranking is 1 to 10. Severity number. You have to write severity number 1 to 10. How bad is that effect? How severe is that effect? Then you write the potential causes. Causes means what are the causes which are leading to this particular failure mode? You write the causes and the occurrence rating. We write the occurrence rating. Occurrence rating means 1 to 10 again. 10 means every time it occurs. 1 means never it occurs. And then you have current controls. What are the current controls today we have? We have to write those current controls against those causes. And after that, you have to write the detection rating of those controls. If it is a very good control, rating will be low. If a very good, bad control, rating will be high. So please remember, bad thing for my university or bad thing for my college is always getting high number, because I want to multiply the severity, occurrence, and detection rating finally to get the risk priority number, RPN. Okay, risk priority number. So let us let us do an FMEA. I think that's the best way to learn will be to do an FMEA. And tell me if you want to take the same problem of exam score, I can take that same problem because now, yeah, let us take the same problem. So first is I will take the process. Process is education right here. Let me take a broader one, technical education, right? And then we'll take failure mode. Now I'll take only one failure mode. You can go on and consider all the failure modes wherever you want to improve. So here I have taken one failure mode is low exam scores. The same problem which we were trying to solve using quantitative method a little while ago. You can have other things like low salaries, low attendance, whatever. You just choose your failure modes. Now I'm right. I'm just choosing the first one right now, just as an example. After that, after failure mode, you go for failure effect. What is the effect? Okay, so your exam score, you can write. So many effects are there. Yeah, brand image of the college, university. Of course, the students are unhappy, and so on and so forth. Whatever. Let's say I'll write. Yeah, you can suggest. You can tell me what will be the effect. Any one worst effect, usually which occurs. Low exam scores leads to what? You have to help me because I'm not I don't know your process so well. So effects of low exam score, what it is? I will write the effects, the image, yeah, image of the college. Okay, I'll write image impacted. And severity, image impacted is the effects. Severity is how severe it is. Yeah, it is important for us. So 8. Now I will write the causes. What are the causes? Causes of low exam scores. So here, yeah. So let us write what are the causes of low exam scores. Attendance, low, okay. What else? Faculty knowledge, okay. Knowledge of faculties. Industry exposure, okay. What else? What else are the causes of low exam scores? Can you please tell me? Give me one or two more causes. Motivation. Lack of, yeah. Okay. Now occurrence rating, again 1 to 10. So here also it was 1 to 10 rating. Again 1 to 10. Tell me 1 to 10. How often? Now see, it depends on college to college, like department to department. Just in general, I'm just attendance low. Low attendance, how often it occurs and is responsible for low exam score? Now all of you are having good knowledge. So we generally take a collective score. So we'll ask 10 people to vote and 10 or 20 people, 30 people, and you will find maximum you will get one number which is maximum occurring. We call it mode. So can you please tell me, give me your scores, we'll choose anyone. At low attendance leading to low exam scores, 1 to 10. How often it occurs? Suppose attendance is never low in my college, then this will be 1. 1 means never it happens. 10 means every time it happens. So can you tell me how often low attendance results in low exam score? If you're 5, okay, so let's say 5. 7, okay. So 5, 7, so I could have taken 6. So let us take 3. So depends on department or college, depends on different. So I assume that you're coming from different streams. So maybe So I'll just put this 5 for one particular college. Faculty knowledge. How often faculty knowledge is the cause of low exam scores? Just give some scores. Like collectively, we're not talking about ourselves only. Collectively, you have got so many faculties. So how many times you find that it is 10 means every time and 1 means never. So excellent faculty. So I'll say, okay, so 5 again. Now, industry exposure. How often you feel the industry exposure, no industry exposure is responsible for the low exam score. I mean, students don't even know about what they are learning, and that leads to low exam scores. 1 means, oh no, never. 7 means, oh, okay, 7 you are giving, that means it is high. Okay. Motivation. How often you find motivation, lack of motivation is responsible for low exam scores? Okay, 10. Okay, so this is like, appears to be a very big this thing. Okay, so it depends. And then now I'll put current control. Current control means today, what am I doing today? Now it is current control. Don't give me controls which should be there. We're not talking about what should be there. That will come later on. That will come later on. Right now, I'll tell you what I'm going to do also, so that you know. We'll calculate the risk priority number, RPN, afterwards, right? And then we'll say recommendations here. We'll do recommendations a little later. Okay. So coming back, attendance load. Today, what is the current control in your system? What is the present control, which controls, which ensures that attendance is not low? Attendance taken by the professor, is that the whatever is the current control today, or instructions to students to attend the classes, whatever. You have to tell me that. Current control. What are the current control? PTA meeting. Now, how effective is PTA meeting? How effective is PTA meeting to increase the low attendance? If PTA meeting is very, very effective, then the score will be 1. Means there is no risk. But PTA meeting happens, but still low attendance is there. That means PTA meeting is not of much use. Then the detection rating, the rating will be 10. So what do you think? PTA meeting, is it helping you to reduce the, or is it helping you to increase the attendance, thereby increasing the scores? What do you think? Helping or not helping? If not helping, just write helping or not helping. Helpful, not helpful. If it is not helpful, my rating will be 8, 7, 10. If it is very helpful, my rating will be 1, 2, 3. So what do you think? Helping or not helping? Today, the present situation of PTA meeting, is it really helpful? It depends on the college. So 4 means you are saying it is a little bit helpful. 4 means like below 5 means helping. 5 means above 5 means it's not helpful. So you think it is 4? It is like useful. Okay, let's put 4. Okay, faculty knowledge. What are the things you are doing to control or ensure the faculty knowledge is really good? What are you doing? FDP. FDP is, I'm not sure of the full form. Faculty development program.
Faculty development program, sir. Yes,
yeah, I could guess that, faculty development program. Okay. Now, how effective are these faculty development programs? If faculty development program are of not much use, the rating will be somewhere like 1. If faculty development programs are super successful and suddenly, transformation of all faculty happens, then it becomes, sorry, reverse. See, this is the mistake everyone does. So if the faculty programs are of no use, totally of no use, it is 10. Risk is high. And if faculty programs are brilliant, super, after faculty management program, you get super faculties coming out of the after the program, then it is 1. So what do you feel? What is the rating you will give of faculty development program? 1 or 10 or somewhere in between. 10 means very bad. 1 means super duper successful. So it is 5. Okay, somewhere in between. Okay. And then you have got industry exposure. What are you doing today to ensure? I'm talking about today. The word current is important, right? See, FDP, when you say FDP is being done, suppose it is there, but it is not being done, then again, the detection rating will become higher. Okay, now about industry exposure. Tell me, what are the things today to ensure that people are getting industry exposure? Internships. Now, internships are really exposing the students to the industry, then detection rating will be 1. But students go and do internship, but they learn nothing at all. They just pass some time there and it's an eyewash. It's 10. So what is the rating? It's very effective, then 1, not effective at all, 10, or whatever, somewhere in between. So what do you think? It is not effective at all. Okay. Okay, fine. So motivation, what is today, what are we doing to take care of the motivation? Anything being done today? If nothing is being done, just say nothing. You can also write nothing. So nothing means it's 10. Now what you will do, you will multiply those numbers. 8 into 5 into 4. So it is 8 for the 40, 4 for the 160. 8 into 5, 40 into 5, it is 4, 5 is 200, right? 8 into 7, 56, so 560. And this is 8 into 10 into 10, 800. So now I'm getting yes. The highest ones, Pareto analysis, 80-20 rule. Highest top 20%, or let's say highest ones, I can even choose this also. So these are my root causes. Forget about the other faculty knowledge, attendance load. They are not the root causes. The real problem and real improvements need to be here. So now, instead of trying to improve a lot of things in the college, let me focus only on internship and motivation. And then you give a recommendation here. For internship, you can just say that, we can increase the, whatever. Now here you can recommend, can we, do a hands-on experience with the companies, companies paying for as if they are working as an employee in the company, and they are being paid as well. So when you're paying the students, definitely, students are serious about work and so on and so forth, whatever. Would you like to give some suggestions? We have still some time left. So would you like to give some suggestions here? Mentoring, okay. So mentoring program to be initiated, okay. This will definitely, mentoring will help this, will help obviously the scores of the students. And something else here, motivation. For motivation, you can just suggest something here as well. So in general, what I'm trying to say, FME is a qualitative tool. Here it's a little bit of numbers are there, but still it's a qualitative term. So here, these are some tools and techniques. Now, these tools and techniques, I'm sorry, actually, I had beautiful slides with me, but I did not use them. I deviated totally, actually, from presentation. And sometimes it happens, when you're interacting and then, you know, so generally, as I said, like I had prepared, those slides are also there. In fact, I would like to invite you. I can conduct a free yellow belt training with a structured DMAC methodology, which used in Lean and Six Sigma for your college or for your students as well. So feel free to contact me for that. I do conduct free yellow belt trainings for colleges, and it's a 2-hour training where we do the DMAC full methodology, Lean Six Sigma, with a lot of case studies from engineering industries. So we have got lots and lots of companies: Siemens, Bharat Petroleum, Railways, BEML, Rashtriya Chemicals and Fertilizers Limited, Aramco, all the biggest of the biggest oil and gas industries, car manufacturing companies. I've got photographs to prove that. I did not pull out those photographs, by the way. But if you are interested, let me. Lots of credentials I have. People talking about my trainings and all that stuff. I have videos also. I have people talking about those trainings, etc. So if you are interested, I'll be very happy to connect with me. I'll be happy to conduct a yellow belt training, which also leads to yellow belt certification. So, yeah, questions. Any questions you have? Anything you would like to?
Participants, you can post your questions in this Zoom chat box right now.
And as I'm telling, you can send me the connection request for LinkedIn also. So it will be a great idea to be in touch. Every day, almost every second day in LinkedIn, I post about some tool. So, are there any questions? Anything? How can we improve the effectiveness of internships? Okay, so let me tell you, I did it for Institute of Engineers, some students, and this actually the whole program is in my Annexus YouTube channel is pasted. What we did, we trained engineers in these tools and techniques, gave them projects. So if you are from say chemical engineer, you are a chemical engineer, I gave you a project of oil and gas industry. And sitting in COVID times, they don't have to go to the industry. I gave them the, let me show you if it comes handy. So I gave them the project from oil and gas. I told them this is continuous data, distillation column, purity percentage of the petrol you have to increase. And what are the X factors? Get your regression equations. They did it. They did a fantastic job. In just 1 month, after doing the training, they got a green belt certificate, plus also got an internship certificate from us, because obviously saying that you have completed an improvement project, learning all these tools and techniques. So they learned regression, ANOVA, chi-square, plus all these tools and techniques. Industrial engineers, right? So this is like something very, you can really, this is something which really improves the effectiveness of the internship, and they also enjoyed. In fact, the students, they loved the program, and we also had fun because for students we conducted differently. We had a lot of fun into that. we have some game show, like we play while we do the training, we also play some games which students really enjoy a lot. So that is one thing, which I was earlier also talking about. So that is one way of improving the effectiveness of internships. Second way is, get them paid internship where they are able to contribute. So it's a little difficult to convince the companies for some time. But like, for example, I have taken a lot of interns with me. We pay them. So we gave them very specific jobs. So if you do this analysis, we have got data from, say, some car manufacturing company. We have data from an IT company. And we tell you these are the 7, 8 steps you have to analyze. They analyze it and they really do a job worth thousands of rupees for us. So we are happy to pay. Similarly, there are so many companies who are happy to pay the interns. So if you can find those things, that really works. So these are one of the things which you can, one way of this we have applied actually. Myself, I have applied. And this whole program is actually on my YouTube channel. So you can see that how students are enjoying and how, the kind of learning. They had posted their internship certificates also on LinkedIn as well.
We have another question from Dr. Mani. How to motivate faculties?
Yes. So one way of motivating the faculties is, actually, first of all, I would say you can do an FME. It depends on, there's no one solution for every college. Different colleges have different X factors of demotivated faculties. So the best way to motivate a faculty, I would say, is that if you can get, I'm just throwing out some ideas, if you're asking some questions, have collaborations with some industries of each faculty. Let me tell you, as every industry, because every faculty, especially PhDs and people who know the research methodologies, they are valuable resource for every industry. And these valuable resources, industry doesn't need full time. They want to do, like, I suppose I was doing one project for I think chemical industry, and they wanted to know some Nusselt number, Reynolds number. I couldn't understand anything out of it. Now the company industry is paying me say 10 lakh rupees for this assignment, and I'm happy to pay a faculty, say, 50,000 rupees if he just tells me what Nusselt number and Reynolds number is. Or an IT company talks about something. I'm doing the analysis for IT company, and suddenly they tell me, in the SDLC cycle, these are the things, and I don't understand anything out of it. So I'm doing an FMEA, but before I do an FMEA, I would like to learn that. A faculty from a college can teach and tell me that, and I'll need only 3-4 hours. Now, if you associate your college and the faculties, make it, this should be fine. In fact, this is a little bit of changes might be required in policies and procedures. So, faculties will also get an exposure, and once, monetary things are there, it really works well. And you are still affiliated. See, personally, I would like to be affiliated with I'm affiliated. I'm affiliated to 1 or 2 colleges. And I nowadays, because of online, I have affiliated to many colleges, even in US also, because I don't have to travel. So I've got affiliated. I give some small, like short duration lectures. So in this case, faculties also can get affiliated with the industry, and it's a symbiotic relationship, and they would definitely get the exposure to the industry, and that will improve their teaching as well. And being a professor in a college is a really prestigious thing, especially you may not realize when you are in the system, but in the industry, all the professors are highly respected. Means I can tell you that. Means I belong to, I'm actually, you can say I'm representing the industry, and the kind of, I tell my students also, when I when I conduct a program in a college, I tell the students that whatever professor is teaching you today, you will pay lakhs of rupees. After 5 years, you'll pay lakhs of rupees to learn the same technique, same thing, same tool and technique, whatever he's teaching you in electrical engineering, those concepts, you'll pay lakhs and lakhs of rupees. And same concept is taught again in lakhs and lakhs of rupees if you go to some university college in US or UK, and the knowledge is same. Yeah, so many times, this is a good realization to have. So I would say, first of all, faculties should themselves know that they are doing a great job of nation building. And another one more thing I would tell is, if faculties can also learn some of the, actually I did it, and it really helped me a lot. There are some theatrical techniques used in theater to improve the performance of an actor. So I feel that all the faculties should, undergo some training in that as well, because it is, when you are a faculty, you are on a stage, you are actually, you are performing, So that is very important, because students have to, they want to be entertainment, right? Entertainment is key at that age. When you're a teenager, remember your teenager days. I used to feel like a professor. If a professor is, friendly, smiling, I will feel good with such a professor. So one of the things is like you can do it yourself. Nowadays, so many programs are available on internet as well. So to take that training yourself, but that really improves your performance a lot, drastically. When students love you, you also feel motivated. You feel motivated to go to the class. In fact, at a very low salary, I would say. I personally, I enjoy teaching. I enjoy teaching. I can do it for free for ages. Actually, something which is, so that is what is motivation. So if you know the value of whatever you are doing, and if you enhance that value in your own eyes, I think that is the best motivation, I would say. Salaries of faculties in private institutions lower than faculties working in government colleges. Anyway, I'm not aware of that part, but that part actually, because I'm not an expert. I will have to do an X and Y analysis in that, and then you can do an FME. I would say my recommendation will be just do an FME. I think you should be able to get some answers there. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions you have? Okay. As I said, just a reminder, I don't know, my team member is there on the call. Otherwise, I will just put one link. You can always, I was talking about one technical training, which I have done. And you can subscribe to my channel. That will ensure that you learn lot of tools like FME I talked about. Other tools also I've spoken, and you can have a look at that. And I'll just put this link here so that you can, whenever you get time, you can always undergo that training. And if you attend this full training, you will even get a certificate as well. So this is what I just put. Let me at least. Yeah, I'll just copy the link and I'll put the link here. So I've given a YouTube link. You can just save that, and then whenever you get time, I have, because whatever you are teaching, the knowledge is really, really good. And thus, using that knowledge, only students are earning lakhs and lakhs of rupees. So what you do are really valuable. Yeah, but as you said, my parents also used to tell me the same thing, that, and I saw my parents as well, that in our society, teachers are underpaid. It's a sad thing. That's something which I also agree. Yes, so Jai Krishnan has got it correctly. Yes. So when I was in Copenhagen, working in Copenhagen, and we wanted to establish a company, and I went for search of name, then no names were available. Whatever names we were applying, we couldn't get it. So then Annexers has got a Danish, it names Annex. Annex means combined together. Annexes. So it has a name, and of course it was a name, a reverse name. So, so it worked both ways. So you got it right. Okay, good. So it was nice talking to you, and I'll be happy to hear from all of you. And let us stay in touch. And thanks a lot having invited me here.
Okay, we have come to the end of the session. I would like to take this opportunity to thank our resource person, Sri Amitabh Saxena, for this beautiful session. We are really enlightened with your knowledge and presence. You have beautifully narrated the data-oriented approach for quality improvement. Thank you, sir, for spending your valuable time with us. You have really motivated us. I thank all the participants who are a part of this session. I also offer you, sir, we will definitely subscribe your YouTube channel and definitely follow you in the LinkedIn. Okay. Now, I just want to remind the participants that the attendance and feedback link is posted in the chat box. You can fill out it right now. Once again, and thank you, sir, and thank you all.
Thank you very much.